Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions, and in this video we have something a little bit different for you. So I recently scaled, and by recently within the past 3 months, scaled day trading with $100,000. This was not something that came easy, and I've been getting a lot of questions about my early ages when it came down to day trading in the stock market and how and when you know you're ready. So before I get started in this video, I want to make sure that you guys know that everything it is that I talk about is based off of my experience and my opinion. At the very end of the day, every single trader, every single investor is completely different. And one of my biggest focuses that I want you guys to have is the importance of being self-sufficient and a problem solver. Because at the end of the day, if you at least have those two qualities, I think that you can do very well in this role. So let's go ahead and get started. So for those that are not familiar with who it is that I am, my name is Ricky. I run the largest YouTube channel and the largest private Facebook group for those who day trade in the stock market. I recently scaled to $100,000. I've encountered a lot of the same struggles that when I first began trading in, the emotional aspect, overall position size, and that's essentially what I wanted to talk to you guys about. And believe it or not, just like, you're probably watching this video, you might be in two different stages. You either want to see consistent growth within your account, or you're just eager to scale, or you're someone that actually has a track record that's consistently growing their account, and then you're kind of just on edge. When do I know that I am ready to trade with more money? One of the first things that I want you guys to know about me and how I do things is I don't compound my money. Meaning if I make, when I was trading with $5,000 or $25,000, if I make $5,000 or $10,000 profit on top of my initial account balance, I don't continue to trade with that. It's just not what I do. So if you're going to ask why don't I do that, a huge focus that I have right now is investing in real estate. On Monday, I'm going to be closing my 8th investment property. Again, I'm 24 and I started investing in real estate at age 20. It's just how I started, to how I utilize my money. And at the end of the day, if you think that you want to compound your money, then 100% go for it. I'm just sharing with you what I do and why I do it. It doesn't mean that you have to follow in my footsteps as well. So one of the things that I do, like I've shown before, is I pay myself on a monthly basis. I have an overall starting balance at the beginning of the month, and then I pay myself at the end of the month depending on what that difference is. So for example, if I make $20,000 this month of August and I end with an account balance of $120,000, then I will bring my account back to $100,000 and then transfer from my TD Ameritrade account back to my overall bank the $20,000. At the very end of the day, again, that's my approach, and it's not something that you have to do, but I just want you to understand that the way that I scaled from like 5 to 25K and from 25K to 100K doesn't mean you just have to keep your money that you made in your trading account. That's just not the way that I viewed it. I really enjoyed paying myself. I had a commission-based job. I liked being compensated on a monthly basis, reminding myself that I'm doing something in a very effective and efficient way. So what I wanted to talk about is I already made a video talking about how I scaled from 5 to 25K, but my transition from 25K to $100,000, if you're part of the Learn Plan Profit team, you literally experience this every single day. And we get so many people, and I'm sure that if you have a successful track record, and even in the smallest form, that you are growing your account, they're either asking you to trade their own money, which is of course illegal. You're not supposed to do that, right? Or they're telling you, why don't you trade more? If you've ever watched any of my recent videos where today, for example, I day traded with $100,000. Today is Friday, and I closed the day a little bit over $2,000 profit, as you guys can see right on over here. You guys could kind of see DWT. On DWT alone, I made $1,300, which is about 1.3%, and the remaining amount I made on UWT, which is the inverse ETF. Altogether, cleared a little bit over $2,000 profit. My daily goal is 1.5% to 2% on a daily basis. Again, I'm not someone that just started trading, so that goal can be either very aggressive if you're under the PTT rule, or if you're someone that has no experience. My number one tip that I would have for you is set a realistic goal that actually makes sense. If you're not even making any money, then a goal of mine would then be to break even. That simple, right? People think that they can go from 0 to 20% growth or 0 to 10% growth on a monthly basis, and it simply just does not work like that. There's a huge learning curve, and on top of that, when it comes down to your account balance, if you've actually scaled your account from $25,000 then trading with $100,000, the emotional aspect and being able to manage your risk and staying cool, calm, and collected, your overall composure is completely different, at least in my experience. Yes, the principles are the same, but it's much easier said than done. When I would manage my risk at 1 or 2%, trading with, $25,000, that was $250 to $500 that I would put at risk. If I take a $100,000 position and it moves 1%, that's a change of $1,000. And being able to see that figure, I'm just not there yet where I feel extremely comfortable. And I know that I'm not the only one that gets this question. You guys can see I am the only person that literally recaps every single day. I day trade live with the Learn Plan Profit group every single day. And you guys can go as far back as you would like. But I literally recap my trades. So if you're not part of Learn Plan Profit for free on YouTube, I'll recap my day, whether I made a profit or a loss, showing you my overall account, my overall P&L, and closing all my trades. At the end of the day, I've been consistently profitable since I've been day trading with the $100,000. So Ricky, why are you not trading with $500,000, with $1 million, with $2 million if you're so good? And I know that I am not the only person that gets asked this question. If you've had a successful track record, I'm sure family, friends ask you, why aren't you trading with more? You should trade with more. But again, if you truly understand what it means to scale, there's 3 main focuses that I like to have. The emotional aspect, something that I struggle with, regardless of what I like to say and my overall experience, it is something that I struggle with, of being able to stay cool, calm, and collected when I have a position size of $100,000. Yes, I've been trading with $100,000 for 3 months, and yet I'm still refining myself. I'm still building experience with that $100,000 position size. And going into that, I'm building experience in both the pros and the cons. People are just so focused on, okay, you made a profit, you made a profit, you made a profit, you made a profit for 1 month, scale. And that's just, I don't want to say that's wrong. I'm not here to tell you what's right or wrong. In my experience, that's just too aggressive. I like to stay so composed with my trades that I want to be so comfortable to a point where if I do see a $1,000 change or a 1% change with my 100K trading account, that I don't get affected by it. And I know I'm just not there yet. So maybe a year, maybe 2 years from now, I would then feel comfortable trading with 200K, 250K. What I want to encourage you and empower you to do is that not one single person should influence you or empower you to scale. It's great to hear people out, but at the end of the day, you should be the final decision maker of when you're ready to go from $1,000 to $2,000, from $1,000 to $5,000, from $5,000 to $25,000, especially if your track record is there. I want to remind you that you have nothing but time. My biggest focus would be building experience, building confidence, and making sure emotionally that you are there. Now, one of the most important parts when it came down to scaling, right? So you have to make sure that you have a track record. It makes no sense to me, and again, this is just my opinion, but when people are trading with $1,000 or $5,000 and they're either just getting started, they think that they have it all figured out, even with just a couple of months of trading. I just frankly don't care. I mean, we run the largest Facebook group, we run one of the largest course groups for day trading, and we just get so many people that just think that they have it all figured out. If it was that simple, everyone would be successful. In my opinion, you never stop learning in this market. And if you think that you have it figured out, trust me, if there's anyone that can slap you back into place, it's going to be the market. And it hurts, especially when you think that you have it all figured out, because then you become reluctant to manage your risk and to cut losses. And that's one of the things that I want to talk about, is if you have your track record there, if everything is meeting criteria on, in preparation to scale, there's one last thing that I want to ask you. One simple thing. When it comes down to risk management, I don't know how you manage your risk. Is it a max dollar loss? Is it a max percentage loss? Those are ideas, right? Or when there's a break of pattern. Those are 3 different ways on how you can manage your risk. And I want to ask you, do you have an idea on how you do that? And do you do it without flinching? That's my number one focus. So many people are just so obsessed about the idea that I made a profit, I made a profit, I made a profit. And that's all that they consume themselves with, right? But at the end of the day, it's not just, the stock market is not like a job. Just because you input time and effort does not mean that you're gonna get a direct output of profit. You can dedicate years of your time and yet still lose money. So what it comes down to is the core principle of making sure that every single time that you take a trade, that you understand the risk involved. And when there's a break of pattern, or it hits your max dollar loss, or it hits your max percentage loss, and however it is that you manage that with a mental stop loss, stop limit, trailing stop loss, I don't care, right? Everyone's different. But at the end of the day, if you can do that without flinching, then you've refined yourself. And you are the only person that can honestly answer that question. Are you ready to scale? Not just because your track record is there, and not just because you're comfortable trading with what you have in your account, but it's about the negative parts about trading, right? Don't just think about, oh, I've made profit. Oh, I feel comfortable trading with $5,000. I'm ready for $25,000. That's just not how it works. At a blink of an eye, right? Without a flinch, are you able to cut losses because you understand that loss is inevitable? And I would rather keep my losses small rather than drag them along and bag hold. And at the end of the day, that shows a true positive quality, in my opinion, about a day trader. And that's what we're talking about, right? One of the biggest mistakes, again, people say that 95% of people lose money in the market. So what is it that you can do to just get that much closer? Not become part of the 5%, but just get that much closer to work towards becoming part of that 5%. If so many people aggressively lose money, what can you do? Become a true professional in managing risk. And that's really what it comes down to. Like when it comes down to like how comfortable am I putting $100,000 in my trading account, I feel extremely comfortable with that. There's a very cliche statement of like, you should never invest or trade with anything that you are not comfortable completely losing. So if I lose $100,000, I am at a financial standpoint where it would not devastate me to lose those $100,000. But that's super cliche. It's not even about that. So feeling comfortable with what I have in my account balance, that's one thing. That's what everyone knows. That's not what I'm focused on. Am I comfortable and confident, and do I have experience trading with $100,000? That's the track record that I'm trying to build. So if you're trading with $1,000, if you're trading with $5,000, if you've now scaled to $25,000, are you comfortable with that, right? Are you comfortable with that in your account balance? And if you were to lose it all, would you be devastated? A very simple question that you can answer. Emotionally, when it comes down to taking that position, how composed are you? And then the last thing, how comfortable are you when a trade does not go according to plan? Because that's inevitable. They're not all going to go according to plan. The majority of them don't. In my opinion, one of the best qualities a day trader can work on, not perfect. I don't think that there's ever a perfect strategy for the masses, right? But something a day trader can continue to refine is their ability to manage the risk and to keep those losses small. So when it hits your max dollar loss that you come up with, don't ask what that should be. That's something that you need to come up with. And if you can't come up with that, then you're not ready to trade. Your max percentage loss. If you can't come up with that, do the math. What are you comfortable putting at risk every single time you take a trade? If you can't come up with that, you're not ready to trade. Or at what time, due to a break of pattern, would you be at a flinch of an eye, right? Be able to manage your risk. And if you can't identify that, then you're not ready to trade. That simple. It's not just about, can you make a profit? Anybody can buy and sell for a profit. Anybody can get lucky. It's about the experience, the track record, the consistency, the composure, and the ability to manage a risk without a blink of an eye. And that is something that I think not enough people think about. They're just like, okay, well, I've traded for a couple months, I've broken even, right? I think that with more money, or by not being under the PTT rule, I think I can actually make a profit. Do you really think that if you are given 3 day trades, right now, let's say you're under the PTT rule, do you really think that being under the PTT rule, so only 3 day trades within a 5-day period if you're within the United States, do you really think that if you can't even do it with 3 day trades, that it's a good idea to use leverage or to trade with more money than you already have to get over the PTT rule, to day trade as many times as you can? Does that actually make sense? If you can't do it with 3 opportunities, what makes you think that you can do it with an unlimited amount when you don't know how to manage your risk? And you know that. When you don't know how to stay cool, calm, and collected with the position size and with the overall amount that you are trading with, that you are not okay to trade with. It's these very simple little things that people overlook. So how do you know when you're ready to scale? When you feel comfortable and confident with what it is that you are doing. So if I were to ask you something that a lot more people can relate to, right? When it comes to buying and reselling, let's keep it super simple. Let's say that you can buy a 30 pack of waters and you can sell each one of them for $1. Let's say you bought them all and you stood at the end of the freeway and you sold all of them. You're in sunny Arizona, right? It's hot and people want water. Just because you sell that 30 pack, does that mean that you can then buy a semi truck of 30 packs, right? Full of 30 packs, invest $100,000 in water and think that you're gonna get the same turnover every single day? No, because you need to learn how to scale to get to that point. And again, that might be a very bad analogy, but you get the point. Just because you can do it with a smaller account, going and scaling, when it comes down to the emotional aspect, when it comes down to the overall composure, and when it comes down to the overall risk management, those are areas that you will, at least in my experience, have to continue to refine. The market is always changing. And one thing that I always remind the Learn Plan Profit group is every single day, as a day trader, right? I don't hold anything overnight. So I get in and get out within a couple of hours. As a day trader, I am put to the test every single day. I am challenged with my ability to identify a pattern, with my ability to wait for confirmation and allow an opportunity to present itself, and with my ability to manage my risk every single day. If you don't like challenges, then you probably will not like the stock market. If you are someone that thinks because you put 8 hours of time and effort into trading that you expect an output, then again, the stock market is probably not for you. If you cannot control your emotions and stay cool, calm, and collected, disciplined in a consistent aspect, then the stock market is probably not for you. But if you're someone that sees value in it, if you're someone that understands that, yeah, 1%, 2% right now with your $100, $1,000, $5,000 account isn't gonna pay the bills, well, of course, because when you're just learning how to play basketball, right? That's not going to pay the bills either. But if you're someone that has a passion for it, and if you're someone that's actually working towards building a future for it with hard work, dedication, and sacrifice, you could potentially scale to become a professional basketball player. And then you've earned the ability to then make an income with this very creative market, right? I wanna leave you with this, with a very simple idea that, in my opinion, nothing worth having comes easy. Everything that is actually worth having needs hard work. And that's just my opinion. I think that we can use that message and use it in all parts of life, not just the stock market, but maybe in friendships, right? Maybe in relationships with family members, like having and sustaining a healthy relationship with your significant other, with a friend, with a business partner. It does not always come easy. And if it does, then you're pretty lucky. But at the end of the day, nothing that is worth having or doing should come easy. And I think that when you do actually accomplish what you work so hard for, it's earned. It's not deserved. No one deserves anything, but it's earned. So then I ask you, are you ready to scale? Is your discipline there? Is your ability to stay cool, calm, and collected with the emotional aspect there? And at a flinch of an eye, are you able to manage your risk? Because the beautiful part about the stock market is it's not just about making a profit, but it's your ability to challenge yourself. And when it doesn't go according to plan, then you're able to manage that risk to keep those losses small. So yeah, how did I know when to scale from $25,000 to $100,000? It wasn't because I had tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people telling me that it's time for me to scale. I don't care about what anyone else says. I am the final decision maker on when I feel like I've checked all the box to feel ready to trade with $100,000. Why? Because I'm the one that worked so hard for that, to put up the $100,000, to put that on the table and challenge myself every single day. And that's not something that anyone can take away from me. And guess what? The Learn Plan Profit Group gets to see me be put up to the plate every single day. And guess what? Today I walked away with 2%, and I walked away with $2,000 profit. So yeah, 2% when you're first getting started, you're right. It doesn't make sense or it might not be worth it because it doesn't pay the bills. But the beautiful thing about the stock market is if you dedicate the time, the effort, and you put in the actual dedication, I think that we can all agree that someone that's just getting started didn't put forth the time and the effort to be able to earn $2,000 a day. But when you've dedicated months, years of your time, not expected anything, but just put in the work because you enjoyed the overall idea of the stock market, now, is it a surprise when I post my profits on YouTube that I made 1.5K, 2K? I've had days where I've closed over $10,000. Is that a surprise? To some of you that might not be familiar with me, yeah. But if you're part of the Learn Plan Profit Group and you're someone that sees that I'm put to the test every single day, it doesn't come to a surprise when I make thousands of dollars in the stock market. Why? Because you know that my overall track record is there, my experience is there, my hard work has been put to the test every single day and it is earned. So I ask you, have you earned the ability to scale? And if not, then guess what? You have to do one very simple little thing. Give it time. Practice everything that you learn, and until it makes sense, then continue to move on. If you're struggling in getting started, there's so many ways on how you can begin to fully dive in what the stock market has to offer. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube that you can learn for free. There's our free Facebook group, the first link down below. We're the largest Facebook group for those who day trade in the stock market with over 222,000 members all over the world. You can begin to paper trade. Literally does not cost you 1 penny to get started through the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform. That's just one platform within the United States. There's so many. Google it, YouTube it, become self-sufficient. Don't be always asking what you should do. Be someone that's self-sufficient and self-driven. Be a problem solver. And then lastly, once you're ready to fully be a part of the team, then we have teams like the Learn Plan Profit team, right? If you like what you see on my YouTube channel, if you saw my live trading video from today, right? August 16th, feel free to go back to that date. I showed my live trading video on how within 1 hour, I made over $1,700 profit. I showed where I bought, I showed where I sold. No one told me what to do. I understood what I was doing and I explained it. And that's what led to my success. Altogether on the day, as you guys can see, I closed a little bit over $2,000 profit. But again, no one told me what to do. The goal should not be to be told what to do. The goal should be to become self-sufficient. That simple. Everything that is actually worth having takes time and hard work. And I think that a lot of us can agree on that. So again, if you guys are ready to join our Learn Plan Profit team, I'm gonna drop a coupon down below. It's gonna be a $50 off coupon. I really hope that you guys can dedicate the extra time that you guys have. And if you do see value in the videos that I've already shared for you online, then again, you're going to absolutely love the content that we have for you within the Learn Plan Profit group. We're gonna get access to the A to Z video lesson library, you get access to the Learn Plan Profit Discord chat, and you get access to being able to watch me trade live every single day. And I'm the only person that offers that every single day. I am put to the test every single day. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna leave you guys with. And again, that is that second link below. So I really do appreciate your guys' time. I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video. Just to let you guys know, if you guys do give this video a thumbs up, it really lets me know that you like these more step-by-step informative videos, and it really helps out my YouTube channel. Thank you guys again for absolutely everything it is that you guys do. Don't forget to subscribe and feel free to drop any future video suggestions down below. Like always, guys, continue working hard, continue following your dreams, let your passion be what drives your success. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.